Welcome to GoldBoys Live, presented by Pickett Sports. Sleeper picks, breaking down the MLB card. We got some James Harden news. We got some Wander Franco news. So a lot going on. Josh, Brad, boys, happy Monday. What's going on?
It's August 14th, too.
It
It's
is.
crazy. We're close to college football. So close.
Yeah, 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So what, like 12 days away? We get that little week zero, that little appetizer, and then
Yep.
we go full into it Labor Day weekend, and then we are off and running. The Thursday night game, Lions and Chiefs, a couple days after that. So we're there. The dog days are just about over. We had some preseason football this week. A handful of games this week or today in baseball. You guys have anything in terms of best bets for this card in baseball?
I will say this. I have zero bets. I don't know who's playing each other. It's not because I don't care about sports, but this is a good time for tell you guys that I went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football practice all morning, and the Buccaneers are going to absolutely stink. Like I told you guys off air, they practiced during drills from 8 o'clock till 10, was it 10:20, 10:40? And they only completed one pass over 10 yards the entire practice. It was awful.
Breaking
I have
news:
film.
Buccaneers are bad at quarterback this year.
I have film. No, I thought it was just the media. Like, how with Dak, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're doing a Dak situation where he's just throwing all these interceptions. But every video I took probably about 30 videos of each play they ran where there's a deep throw or a throw more than 10 yards. It's awful. Every single one. It's wild.
That's painful.
Yeah.
You're up, Josh. You got anything
Under on
for
the
picks
Bucks.
today?
Yeah, dude, I got a couple units on the Mariners today against the Royals.
All right.
I really like the Logan Gilbert matchup. Gilbert's filthy on the road. He's got like a sub-3 FIP, sub-3 ERA on the road this year. The Mariners are a top 6-ish offense against right-handed pitching since basically July started. They have the second most home runs behind the Braves, which interestingly is 17 less. They have 44, second place, most home runs since July. The Braves have 61 against right-handed pitching. It's stupid, but we're basically looking at the Royals' worst bullpen in the league, Mariners' best bullpen in the league. Logan Gilbert on the mound. I feel really good. I got it at minus 146, and you can still get that on DraftKings. So FanDuel, it's minus 154. A little discrepancy there. Nice to take it on DK.
Yep. I don't hate that. I would lean under. Went from 9 to 8.5.
Yeah.
I could see a low scoring. Mariners just an under team, man. They 1-0 in extra innings Saturday to Baltimore. Then yesterday, that was a wild game. All the afternoon games in baseball yesterday were wild. Just comebacks, 2-out homers, all sorts of crazy
Marlins,
stuff.
yeah.
Mariners were right in position to actually get in the playoffs if it ended yesterday, and they've lost a couple in a row. So,
but they're still, they're 14-6 in their last 20, man. They've played like the Orioles, the Padres, the Angels, the Red Sox, the Diamondbacks.
Mariners are sick.
They're good right now.
My only concern, and I gave them out 55-1 to win it all the other day. I bet them. Wow. I'm just worried that can they really catch Toronto? Toronto's got a really easy schedule coming up. And sometimes, like we see this in a basketball game, a team's down 15 or 20 points, and they use all their energy to tie it. And once they get tied, they just have no gas left in the tank, and they get run out of the building. So this is 2 losses in a row. You almost use up all your wins. You use up your hot streak just to get even. Now you have to have another push to maintain it. So that does worry me a little bit, but
it's got to be special. But just to your point about the records, this is why Seattle was also a good bet over the Angels, even after the Angels made all those moves. They've got currently the third easiest schedule, and they already had like a decently easy schedule, and then they played all those teams I just mentioned that are all playoff or above 500 teams, and now they've got like the Central a lot left on their schedule for the AL Central. So they're still a pretty decent bet right now, are the M's.
Marvin is in. He says, "Hey guys, and I meant to, this is me saying this. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns in the chat, help us out. Be our fourth host here. Questions, anything, just throw it at us."
We used to have a fourth host.
We did.
We did. The dude went on vacation and never came back.
I'm careful because I'm off next week, so I don't want to get eviscerated too much next week when I'm off. But man, this is like a. You guys say bad stuff about Brian. I'm not going
to. He's on a streak. That's all. We'll just say that.
Yes. The anti-Cal Ripken, the anti-Iron Man.
Opposite of Iron Man, yeah. What about
he's Kawhi? He's load managing. He's Kawhi. He's Paul George.
for a whole year, though.
Yes. Yeah.
He's waiting for basketball season.
Honestly, the way he's on vacation, though, he's more Zion than anybody at this point.
Ben Simmons, wherever you want to go. He's a little Ben Simmons. He's a little Zion. You can, yeah. I would say.
One more bet that I'm trying to figure out here is 14-mile-an-hour winds in St. Louis going out of the stadium with JP Sears on the mound. He's like second most home run prone pitcher right now. There's some good. He's got really bad same splits there against lefties too. So like Nolan Gorman's the best probably lefty hitter on this team, and then I mean you can't get any juice for like an Arenado or Goldschmidt anything at this point. So Gorman might be the best value really, but any of those guys against JP Sears with that wind flying out like that seems like a pretty good bet there.
Yep, I'm with you. I am on Houston. Valdez against Garrett. Houston's really good against lefties. Valdez has had a strange last 6 or 7 starts. He's got that one no-hitter in there, but other than that, he's gotten hit really hard. Yeah. I would think as long as he's healthy, this might be a good start for him to get back on track. Marlins aren't a great lineup. That's a good pitcher's park. And again, Houston's good against lefties. I just think Houston's on a different level than Miami. Miami had a crazy win yesterday against the Yankees. Yankees blew a 7-2 lead in the 8th, but I like the Astros here, minus 148 at DK. Shop around. If you have a book that lets you bet dime lines in baseball, that's extremely valuable over the long season. I know that's not the norm anymore for whatever reason, which is annoying, but I'm okay here. Anything like the 140s, probably wouldn't play it past 150 here on the Astros. As far as the other game, we have a great game in terms of the pennant race. Mets versus Pirates. Mets a small favorite. The Yurfie god Carlos Carrasco is on the mound. Shouldn't we just let's look at Yurfie here? Shouldn't we just be obligated to blindly bet the Yurfie? Because I feel like every time
you have to bet Pirates first half team total because they've literally been killing it too. Like they've been getting hits, they've been getting runs. What's the price on Yurfie?
Who's on the mound for them?
It is Carrasco, and it's listed as Priester. Wow, yeah. Look at the Yurfie at DraftKings. Anyone want to guess what it is?
Minus 160.
Josh?
That I was literally gonna say like minus 167.
Minus 175.
Wow. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Now this is where they make it very hard to win. The under is plus 135. So that's just a massive straddle.
That's too bad.
But my goodness, that's about the I don't remember seeing other than the games where they play sometimes at like altitude or they play in Colorado, minus 175 for a Yurfie is pretty extreme. I'm not looking to play with $1.75. I certainly wouldn't play the no.
Priester's a righty.
Priester's a righty. He's not listed as the pitcher on DraftKings. It's unlisted on DraftKings, but a few of the books did have Priester listed for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I mean the Mets are brutally bad against lefties right now, so I would fade them whenever you see them against a lefty. But I had Priester.
I'm trying to pull up
whatever.
Nice win for them last night over the Braves.
I'm trying to pull up the totals there.
He said, Marvin says, book it. Brian
really
Reynolds
nice.
Not that right now. That was a good game last night. It was a random like 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern start. Reds and Pirates last night as the Mets and Braves. So we had 2 games last night at Sunday night. It was fun. Reds came back and won a bunch of runs. Reds are still fun to watch. De La Cruz is quietly like cooled down where he's just not getting on base.
He had a home run yesterday.
Yeah, but I just mean the last month or so, he's really like his on base percentage is like 300. He's not getting on base as much. He's still fun as hell to watch, but there's definitely been a little bit of a cooling process, which is normal. I mean,
that whole team kind of cool too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just to the Pirates stuff, like I'm with Marvin there. Of like, hit if you want to hit Brian Reynolds, you got to get 2 bases though for anybody. Like for Sawinski and Brian Reynolds, if you want any juice, you got to go over 1.5 total bases. The home run props are normal, I suppose. Like you can get Brian Reynolds basically 5-1 for a homer.
Why don't you take hits, runs, and RBIs then? Because then like he hits you have more outs than if he just like in total bases because he can get a single and get someone in or
the thing is it's less juice. Sawinski 1.5 hits and runs RBIs. Yeah, minus 125.
Oh, wow, I thought it'd be closer to minus 110.
Yeah, but I mean, because your point, you get a little bit more little bit more love. Yeah. What do you say, Will?
Tone said, "Yo, Will, give me your homer bets today." Look, I can't win a homer bet. I don't play the homer stuff. I'll tell some of you guys sometimes, but man, I just have a hard time with the homer stuff. Saturday was a good day to do it. Mets when the Braves won 21-3. I mean, if you're gonna pick a team, you gotta. I don't mind finding games. Say I hate this pitcher. Like Dallas Keuchel was another one. The other day, Wainwright. Some of those games, I do think there's probably opportunities. And Friday, we had a rare gift. We had Wainwright and Keuchel on the mound. Both got absolutely lit. Keuchel got lit the first time around. He just danced out of it.
Yeah.
a couple like last Sunday, but he got smoked this past week. So hopefully those guys pitch again in a couple days. Why they keep pitching Wainwright, I have no idea. I guess to get the wins, but man, it's been a great betting opportunity. Other games, Yankees Braves, boy, Yankees, how the mighty have fallen. Plus 180 in Atlanta. Be careful, Atlanta. It's tough for a
Not
team
bad.
flying back from Sunday Night Baseball. It's a tough travel spot, but
Yep.
Atlanta's minus 218 or so. Max Fried going against Schmidt.
Yeah.
Josh mentioned Cardinals, A's. We do have Rangers with Mad Max on the mound against Sandoval. Rangers a minus 180 favorite. And Josh also mentioned
Shohei to hit in that game, by the way. Scherzer, you got to get into it a little bit, but like people are hitting the ball in the air off of him. So Shohei, some batting props for him if you want to go hits, runs, RBIs. I mean, if you wanted to get Shohei for a home run, I think it's like plus 250, which I'm out on that.
yeah,
But
that's crazy.
Scherzer has been giving up like a lot of fly balls, and if they're going to fly out of the park there, then could be some good batter bets there.
Yeah, I agree with what Marvin said. De La Cruz was terrible game one yesterday. They were 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position in game one. The Reds were. That was really gross.
Other
Yeah.
games, Diamondbacks finally got a couple of wins, man. The Diamondbacks, it looked like they'd never win another baseball game. They won 2 in a row. They are hosting Colorado. They're minus $2 favorites, total 11.5. And then fun game, Orioles, Padres. The Padres might finally be done. I think we can finally just count this team out. They are favorites again tonight. Darvish minus 142 against Grayson Rodriguez has been pretty good since he got called back up. And then Rays, Giants. Rays a small favorite in San Fran. Rays have not played well either. McClanahan probably done for the year. Any of those games jump out to you in terms of side, total, anything?
120 with Grayson Rodriguez.
Aren't the Rays like 6-4 in their last 10?
I don't have the numbers in front. I mean, they've
They won
been
a couple
mediocre
series. Yeah, they beat
for
the
a
Tigers.
very long time. Didn't Cleveland beat them 2 out of 3?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Let me see here. And I think Baltimore is going to win that division.
I think it's the other way around. I think Rays beat Cleveland 2 out of 3. Cleveland beat them. They had 2 walk-offs, and then Cleveland beat them like 9-2 or something.
Cleveland won that game Saturday. They did. My goodness, I stopped following that at 5-1. Yeah, that you're right. So that was wow, I missed that one. I had the first 5 under, so I stopped paying attention. So yeah, Cleveland smoked them yesterday, but Cleveland came back to
win. So they did win 2
Saturday. So yeah, Tampa 5-5 their last 10.
5-5.
I just feel like they've been mediocre for a long time. I mean, they were so good in April, but they've just been blah for a while now.
It's like weird. Like I feel like this happens so often in baseball too, where like when good pitchers are pitching well, they're not getting any run support, and then when their pitchers are pitching like crap, they like have 6 or 7 runs, but they just gave up 8 or 9. It's like it doesn't help you at all.
Right.
Tampa's not Tampa, who everyone thought was at the beginning of the year. Let's just put it that
way. Plus, you keep losing pitchers. McClanahan out for the year. Remember, Springs was great for them early in the year. He's done for the year. Yeah. All right, I guess we should talk about it. Wander Franco.
Yeah, oh my God.
You guys didn't know about this. I was the newsbreaker, but Tone can jump in if he has any thoughts here. The breaking news, he's been placed on the restricted list, which means he's suspended indefinitely while they investigate him. Usually you don't get paid when you're on the restricted list, which, I mean, who cares about his money, but it just does show you that if they're penalizing that harshly, then they probably have something here. He was allegedly seen with an underage girl. In this climate, in this day and age, I don't know how he plays again this season unless he's like cleared here. You have to worry like would he get a lifetime suspension for this? I have no idea, but I would have a hard time seeing him back on the field in like a week or so unless he's clear. I don't know. You guys want to jump in? Tone, you want to jump in? I know you guys are nervous to talk about this.
But I'll jump in. What's crazy? When I read a little bit, like he was already scheduled to be off. Like it was just a maintenance day. And then the news dropped while he was like taking a break. Like, could you imagine? You're just like, relaxing, getting treatment, and then their phone's buzzing. Dude, what'd you do, bro? Like, yeah, he's toast. I agree with Dylan. Like
when you say toast, you mean what do you mean? Done for the year? Done forever? Like done forever seems extreme, but
maybe like what they throw down 180 game suspension.
Yeah.
When you say done forever seems extreme, it doesn't really feel like it's going to be up to anybody if he goes to prison.
Dude, so bad.
Right. And then you have to get into like the evidence of what they actually have. And I don't know what I don't know what the evidence is.
If you're baseball, you're in the back seat while the legal system is driving this, right? So they dictate how long he goes away or what happens to him. He's definitely not playing baseball the rest of this year, if any of this is even like remotely true. And then he's almost definitely not playing baseball next year. And 2025 would also be less than a 50% chance, in my opinion. So like, now you're getting to like, well, he's not Michael Vick. He can't just come back from 2 years and not playing. I mean, maybe he can figure it out, but like even then, then MLB's potential, like,
Crazy.
doing ramifications, like, after. So
if he was some middle reliever, we'd never hear from him again. But the fact that he's so good and so young, like, look, it's any business.
He's
It's how the
22.
world works, where the talent just like it's not like he was Ruggs and he killed somebody and he's not going to be out of prison in his prime. Like I don't know if there's enough gray area where they can give him a benefit of doubt. I'm just wondering out loud here.
I just gotta have to know like what happened, like because
Right.
every article I've read, granted it was only for what 3 minutes. Every article said something like because of they were made aware of the social posts. Like what social posts? And like, none of them included the social posts that made the Rays aware.
I think the social posts were someone accusing Wander of being in this relationship. If you ask me, even if like no legal system or anything of that arises from this, if there's enough smoke, then it might just be prudent for the Rays to just cut ties with them, and at that point, we might never see Wander again. If that's, there's probably some clause in the contract to
the only problem for playing devil's advocate, the only problem I see is like they have to have pretty damning evidence because like that's just so he said she said unless you have like evidence of them being together or she steps forward.
Right. Well, to be honest, you can justify this, brother. He should just be done and delete this existence from social media. You can't just delete this. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what evidence. If it's just, hey, a picture of them together, yes, that looks bad. Yes, you have to look into it, but I think it's pending the evidence they have because, again, he is really good and really young, and if they can give him the benefit of the doubt, like it's a business, they'll try to do that. I would think, hey, go away for a year, come back, and we'll brush under the table. But I don't know. It's a real bottom line. It's a really, really tricky spot for Tampa because. Like if you gave him Truce, like, hey, we want the guy on our team. He's so good, but you can't have this. So I don't know what
the other part is like the court of public relations, like right, like if you're a team and your fan base and a huge target audience is like families bringing their kids,
right,
like,
but
this is untouchable. Like this is along the lines of like everyone's talking about Ray Rice. Like, yeah, to me, like both are wildly fucked up, and this one, however deeply true it is going to take the fucking prize for the most messed up, right? So
yeah,
like,
I agree. I think it's just so hard though, like without like legitimate evidence, because then you set a precedent. Like if you cancel him, like so many people can come forward with anything.
But that's why this is all secondary conversation to the legal system deciding what actually happened.
Yeah.
And if
phone records and text messages and all sorts of who knows what's there or what's not there. So.
Totally. And then baseball doesn't even have a choice.
Can we agree on one thing? Like how freaking stupid.
Right.
Like how stupid could you be?
I don't know. You get to a point, I'm sure, with some of these guys where you're like, I'm literally untouchable, and you don't even have to think about what you do. That's the only thing I can only fathom.
I mean, look, and this is I'm gonna choose my words here carefully. Sometimes you hear about these allegations, be like, oh, you know what? She said she was 18 and she ended up being 16 or 17. If you see a picture of it, you could be fooled by it. But 14, man, that's not like 16 or 17. That's that's like a kid.
I get
what
you're saying.
Freshman in high school, if that. So who knows? I haven't seen pictures of this girl. I don't know if we've seen pictures of this girl. If anyone,
I would hope not. I would really hope that nobody starts to leak photos of a 14-year-old on the internet.
Right. Well, somebody saw the picture of it to see it. Like somebody has. That's how it was discovered. Is somebody saw him.
Right, and so that was obviously taken down. And my thing is like, just leave her alone and whatever happens there. Once again, like
so crazy.
It's just if you want to talk about this from a baseball standpoint, just leave it there. They don't have their best young player, and he doesn't deserve to be playing baseball right now until like something else is figured out. So like that's all we need to worry about.
I don't think the MLB is gonna.
I don't think that statement. I don't think I agree with that statement. I don't think I agree with that. He doesn't deserve to play baseball until we figure this out. Because
I don't know, man. That was bad. That whatever happened on social media was enough to be like, we now need to investigate if you are like having relations with a minor. So
I
to me,
understand
like whatever the stupidity of whatever he posted, even if it comes out that it was nothing in the end, then like right now he caused a ruckus in a way that like you can't put him on the baseball field until this is at least like figured out which direction we're moving in.
Yeah, the MLB won't allow it because it's a PR disaster.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the way you said it was like he doesn't deserve to be on the field. We can't judge of like I just feel like that was maybe spoken in like misspoken. I get your point. I get your point. He can't be on the baseball field because he could be a distraction. PR nightmare. I get that part.
Yeah, no, that you're right that was misworded. The phrasing is just like he just can't be on the field right now. And like, to
Exactly.
be honest, like the deserve part is, it sounds extreme, but it is like you did this really dumb thing in and of itself with the picture or whatever whatever it
How
was.
could you? I'm just like, how could this dude be this dumb?
My thing is like, we can't just be like, well, we
Oh
don't know
my
what the post was. The post was enough to incite an investigation.
Right.
So it's
So
enough to be like,
dumb.
you can't play right now.
You know
So
what's
deserve or not,
sad?
like, that's what it is.
Do you know what's sad? Like anytime these guys get in trouble, right? Like these professional athletes, I just think about like all of the people that are their age that are literally grinding for a spot in the majors or whatever sport they are, but they're just not good enough. And like a guy like Wander who has all the talent in the world is getting this spot, taking it away from someone else who's just not good enough to crack the rotation or not good enough to make it to the big leagues. It sucks.
Yeah.
And you do have to like think to the Matt Araiza situation, the punter, where everyone just buried him publicly.
Yeah.
He got cut by the Bills, and they're like, "Oh, hey, none of this was true, by the way." And the headline where he's guilty, and like everyone assumes he's guilty, gets a huge headline. Then it's a little blurb. Oh, by the way, he did nothing wrong. Not
He wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. Like that's what I get scared like when we start like just canceling people instantly.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, right.
But in that situation, you can't blame the Bills there because this guy is a rookie. He is currently really not looking good. You can't have him on the team because it's a PR disaster.
I think you could still blame the Bills. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up suing the Bills if he can't get a job and they settle with him.
Yeah.
I mean, don't they have a right to cut? I don't know. That's a fascinating one. That's more of a law situation. I don't know, but it's definitely
we need a lawyer on here.
It's definitely unfair to him. Where hey, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being accused of this, and my name is sullied forever. I'm cut from I'm not
cut from his dream. Yeah, that's
he's a great punter too. I'm sure you remember him from college. He was just insane as a punter. Just could punt could flip the field from anywhere. So. I don't know. It's tricky. We'll definitely keep an eye. Do you guys have any thoughts on Harden? He called Morey a liar. He said, I'll never be part of that organization. Any part of organization that involves him. I get the sense they promised him something last year. Remember last summer he took a little less money with the thinking, hey,
that he can get the max.
I think they had an under the
table handshake
sort of deal. Yeah, and it
sounds like 15 million. Wasn't it like 15 million?
I forget the details of how much he left on the table, but he did opt into his contract this summer. What are your thoughts just in general? Whose side are you on?
I'm on Harden's side.
Okay.
I'm on Harden's side because at the end of the day, these athletes have to trust the word of these, like, we're not talking about rich, filthy rich owners. And if it's the owner who goes back on his word, then those deals they're never going to get team-friendly deals.
What's the lie that he's claiming?
He's saying that him and Morley agreed that he takes a pay cut in hopes that when it's time for a contract extension, he'll get the max.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they said, hey, you help us out this summer. We'll maneuver the cap a little bit. You take a little less. And then next year, after you're a free agent, I'll hook you up when we're a little better financially. And that obviously didn't happen. And that's why Harden's annoyed, which I don't like Harden. I don't really care where he goes. He doesn't move the needle for me. He's an okay player, but he's not a good player like on a championship team anymore. But I would tend to agree. Hey, if you have your word with somebody and you get backdoored here, I could certainly understand the frustration and I would side with him.
Yeah. Terrible public speaker too. If you saw the video, it's like the whole point of this video is to announce that you can't get your audio right. You can't like stop fluttering with your hands. Like, it just wasn't a really great broadcast. But where does he go? What happens now? Because if you look at teams with cap space, like they do have next year's first and second pick, and they can give away 2026 first round too. So you can take Harden. I mean, you got to take at least 2 first rounders. I'm sure everyone's asking for 3 first round draft picks along with James Harden in exchange for whatever role players we can take. But like, if we're taking on this contract in this way, you're getting completely, we're going to clean you out as much as we can. And that's going to be in the form of draft picks that they actually do have like 3 first rounders that could be in jeopardy.
Wait, what are you saying the first rounders go for?
What's that?
What's the deal with the first rounders you're suggesting?
The deal with the first rounders to me is like, you've got to give away, like if people are going to take on his contract at this point, they're trying to clean house and not only like give you like young guys that are like already decent, right? Because like Joel Embiid's there. You can't just be like, all right, give us like this year's horde of draft picks and stuff like that. You have to be like giving us players that are legit in exchange, right? And so I think they're also going to be, the teams that they trade for Embiid are also going to be asking for picks to take on James Harden. So,
Oh no,
like,
I mean only 1 year. It's only a 1 year deal, so I don't think it's not that bad. Where I think like the Clippers would want him, but then you get into like, hey, would it cost Terrence Mann or something like that? But that one then would Philly do that? I don't think his contract's that bad for 1 year, but I don't know. I don't know where it leaves him.
I think Philly's going to lose the staring contest. James Harden's first of all undefeated in the staring contest game, getting out of Houston and Brooklyn.
Right. That was when he was
Nobody
good,
knows
though.
how to
I
throw
don't
a
know that
game.
anybody wants him that much. Where, like you said, they're gonna have to give up assets to get him. I don't know if that's the case,
Yeah.
but is anyone going to be knocking down the door to get him? I don't think that either. So I don't know where it leaves him. Honestly, I really don't.
The only thing I would say, just looking at even just looking at the 10 teams with the most cap space, like the only teams with positive cap space are actually the top two in Utah and Detroit. So that means players are leaving, and Philly's giving up cash.
I mean, Philly's not going to trade him unless they get assets back. Philly's trying to win the title this year, so Philly.
Who's going to be able to take him on? And yeah, so there's just there's
Maybe the
nothing there.
Clippers. Maybe the Clippers give you Terrence Mann again, but if Terrence Mann, a couple of these guys, who are other role players on the Clippers, is that enough to keep Embiid happy? That I think is the key here. Is this enough to implosion around Embiid, where Embiid's like, you know what? I haven't been out of the second round. I'm right around 30 now. I got my fake MVP trophy. Maybe it's time for me to get out of here.
Maybe. But that's the thing, is like that's why the clock is ticking in for Morey. Like Harden gets to sit there, stare him down, and just be like, "Let me know when you're ready to let me go somewhere." Because Embiid is the thing that just like holds them to the fire.
Right.
And Stu DOP put in the chat that Morey asked for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen for Tobias Harris in a trade.
Yeah,
That was
he's
like,
known. He's known. He does have a rep of like he's the guy in the fantasy league that offers you his
Yeah.
tickets, like Mahomes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Marvin
Tough,
says,
man.
"I love Harden. He just irritates me. He's always crying when he doesn't get his way." I agree with that. But this is the one case where I'm like, hey, if they promise him something and they're going back, I could at least understand it. But I do agree. And I used to like Harden when he was on the Thunder, man. He was a fun player to watch.
Yeah, he was.
That was a fun young team.
Hell, even the Rockets.
Yeah, the beginning. I hated all the foul drawing stuff and
so boring.
I love the foul drawing. I love the foul drawing. Because you're like, this man's going to get points for the team. Like he's manipulating the rules in his favor.
I like that. I like that you like it. It was boring to watch. It was just tedious. Exactly. But I know what you mean. Where, hey, if I was coaching a team like that, that's a way to get points. It's a way to, it's a way to win. I don't know.
Yeah. Rockets fans will die for him. Like you still cannot talk poorly about him after he like literally threw the ball out of bounds multiple times to get off the team. I think part of it, to the point you're like, if you like the Rockets, whenever your team goes to the foul line, you're like, this is like one of the best, most efficient plays in basketball. We stop the clock. We've got the momentum. You love it. So every time you went to the foul line, which was like 11 times a game, Rockets fans are like, that's our boy getting us 2 points. Like every single time.
That's so true.
Problem is, though, they don't call that stuff in the playoffs. The playoffs, the whistle tightens up a little bit or loosens up. Like you get away with more context. So all these BS fouls, like you're not going to get those 50-50 calls as much. I think that's probably why he hasn't played as well in the playoffs.
There's like, I don't know. Do the Grizzlies get desperate? Do the Kings try to make a move because they need one more player to get them over a hump, and they think that could be it? Like
he doesn't get anybody over the hump. Maybe,
but if you're Sacramento having James Harden in your jersey,
I don't think James Harden is James Harden anymore, though. I don't see it. I really.
But if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, this is gonna be the best.
If you're the Kings, you have a nice thing going. You got a young team. You're fun. Now you're gonna get some old guy to slow.
Are you good enough to win the West right now?
No, but you're not good enough with Harden.
Maybe you can convince yourself you are.
No, I don't.
I don't think they'd want to give up any young pieces.
Yeah. I would hate them. I would hate that for them.
Like when other teams' windows are closing, theirs is going to be opening. So
I agree. The Clippers, just because they need a playmaker, would make sense. Other than that, man, I would have no interest in him. I wouldn't want him on my team anymore. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, if you're the Clippers, and first of all, like, Daryl Morey wants one of if Kawhi or Paul George.
Well, that's not happening. I mean, that's
what he's want. And the other part is Russell Westbrook. Like, if you're a Clippers fan or if you're in Clippers management and you're gonna get James Harden on your team, Russell Westbrook has to be gone. Not only for the salary, but like you can't have them on the floor together.
Right.
What are we talking about?
All right. Anything else before we wrap? How about the golf, Brad? Lucas Glover wins 2 weeks in a row, right?
2 weeks in a row.
Oh my God.
80 to 1 week before 100 to 1 the next week.
Tail Brad on golf. I do.
Did you have him this week?
I didn't. Wait. You know why I didn't have him? He was third in my model, and I go, "There's no way.
No way he's winning 2 weeks in a row.
No way
Literally
this dude
tweeted that.
who just won for the first time in freaking forever is going to
Oh
win
my
2 weeks in a
God.
row."
Dude, he's
I
like,
didn't have anybody in the top 20 that like this week.
where's he at now? In the he's like top
Third.
10? Yeah, he's third in the FedEx Cup. It's crazy.
I will be on Rory this week at 8-1. So pretty much like I don't know if you guys follow Terror's page on in the Discord, but pretty much his strategy this week is how you play it. Like you take, because the way the pricing is going to be bracketed, you take one top tier guy, you take one like lower priced mid guy, then you take two bombs, and that's like pretty much how you want to kind of bracket it out. Just because you're not going to get value, like you can't take like Cantlay and Rory because that's going to be an 8-1 and a 10-1 unless that's all you bet, and you bet a unit on them each. But I don't want to like risk a unit on two players, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When's the last time a guy won back to back? I mean, it happens maybe once a year, maybe once every other. It doesn't happen very often where a guy wins.
Tony
twice.
Finau last year.
Did he win back to back? Okay.
I think he won 3 in a row. It was either 3 in a row or 3 out of the last 4. Yeah, and I was on him.
I don't think it was 3 in a row. I would have remembered that. I think
it was either 3 in a row or three in the last 4. So he won 3M. He won Detroit. He won what do they call it? Detroit Open, Rocket Mortgage. Mortgage, 3M. So I think it was 3 out of 4.
Wow.
Which is still
crazy. 3 in a row. Even 2 in a row is crazy. 3 out of 4 is still insane. It is. It really is.
I think Xander went back to back too last year. But he won Scottish Open and the whatever the week before Scottish Open was, right?
Maybe Sheffield back to back a couple years ago too. He had a run where he was really good, but man.
And it's hard to like when I say like back to back, because sometimes like it's not technically back to back because they might sit out a tournament, but like back to back in the tournaments they played.
I mean, hey, who won the PGA this week? Who won it next week? Like actually, who won these 2 tournaments in a row? And I agree, there's some.
Yeah, Tony Finau's like the last one. I think
that's also because like the main guys aren't always playing those tournaments back to back weekends. So then you got to win a crappy tournament, and if you're Tony
Finau loves those easy fields.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
He loves easy golf courses too. Wait, let me get my soccer play.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Manchester United versus Wolverhampton versus Wolves. I'm going to be on United to win in under 4.5 goals. There's no way that we see multiple goals out of Wolves. They only averaged 0.89 goals per contest last year, the fewest touches in the opponent final third. And I really like what Ten Hag has built on this United team. But then again, they're not this crazy attacking prowess team, especially against a Wolves team who knows their best bet to stay in this game is to keep it close. So I see like a 1-0 or a 2-0 game. You could play. You could do kind of like what Sam did. I saw Sam's parlay today. His was United to win and under. And United to keep a clean sheet at even money. I just didn't like that just in case it ends like 2-1 or 3-1. I'd rather just take my chances just in case they get some stupid lucky goal.
All right, sounds good. Brad, Josh, this was a fun show, different show. We put our legal counsel hats on. So thank you, thank you to Sleeper. Hopefully we don't get sued. Appreciate you guys listening. The chat was awesome today. So tell your friends about it. Be involved in the chat. It really helps us out. It makes this show more fun. So thank you to Pickett, Sleeper, Hall of Fame bets. We will be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. Until then, good luck with all your plays. See you tomorrow.